Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. It's time. It's the second game for England. We're ready to go, aren't we? It's coming home. Well, look, I still believe it can come home. Why not? Why not? It never has before, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I remember when my dog died. I didn't see it die. I went to school, never got told about it. Came home from school. It's gone to heaven. Every day for the next few years until I grew up and got with it, I thought that dog was going to be there when I got home. I thought it was coming home and it never did, but it could have come home. Although in that circumstance, it couldn't. I was told it was buried in the back garden and that would have been very sinister if it had. But yes, it could come home. Of course, it could come home. England against Denmark. Southgate's not made changes. I personally think he should have done. Not in the sense that I don't think we can win. I just think it's typical Southgate. Let's just get that up on the screen for you. I think it's typical Southgate, really, in the sense that I just think, you know, it didn't work. I don't think it worked against Serbia. You've got the likes of Conor Gallagher, Kobe Mainoo, Wharton, Gordon, Eze, Bowen, Palmer. You know, there's so many players he could have changed it. It didn't work, Gareth. It was absolute shit for about an hour after we scored. It didn't work. I know people say don't change a winning team, but that's Southgate for you. He's just dull as a pint of piss. Which, well, that would be vile actually. But he's just very dull. He should have changed the team. He should have changed the team. I still think we can win, but I'm not looking at getting out of this group. We'll get out of the group, no problem. I'm looking at winning the tournament. And we're not going to win the tournament when we've got a manager that won't make changes, won't make subs, and just sticks with the status quo, rocking all over the bloody world. I mean, I just saw a stat when it was on the TV then, just before I went live. England under Southgate are going for 6 clean sheets in a row in Euros group games or something. Oh, wicked. I'm so excited about that we get loads of clean sheets. Whoa, what, wow. We're on top of the world, Ma. We're getting clean sheets, Ma. You know, I don't agree with the team. I would have dropped Trent, and I probably would have dropped Foden. I'd like to see some balance on the left-hand side, and I'd like to see us get hold of the midfield a little bit better. I still think we'll win, but I'm not looking at Denmark. I'm not looking at Serbia. I'm not looking at Slovenia. I'm looking about at some point we will play Germany or Portugal or France or Italy or, you know, a good team, and we will come unstuck. But, you know, we all know it's very repetitive. Even I find it repetitive. The ultimate story here is that Gareth Southgate is going to be the reason whether we win this tournament or we don't win the tournament. I had our first super chat of the evening or afternoon. Sean McGovern says, "Good afternoon, Mark. How excited are you to see Rasmus today?" Yeah, good question. Right in with a difficult one. I mean, look, I like Rasmus as a Manchester United player. I really, really do. But if somebody said to me, England are losing no matter what, then I would say I'd love Rasmus to score. That's how it works. But I don't want him to score today, and I don't want Denmark to get a result. I want England to win. So I think that, you know, do I think he will score? I would imagine John Stones and Guehi have got enough to deal with him today. And I also think our midfield will be stronger than theirs, even with the potential issues that are exposed by, you know, not having a more balanced midfield. But let's have a quick look at the Danish side. I mean, get in the comments. Are you happy with that team? What changes would you have made? Some people will say you're moaning. You keep a winning team. I don't necessarily, you know, I disagree. But on the other hand, it's not a terrible take. It's just who the manager is. So Schmeichel, Vestergaard, Christensen, Anderson. That's the Anderson who plays for... is that the Anderson who plays for Palace? I think it is. Christiansen, Højbjerg, Holmlund, Mail, Eriksson, Højlund and Wind. Now, Wind is a decent player. Højlund's a decent player. Eriksson and Højbjerg, I just don't know whether they've got the legs, Denmark, you know. And it is the Anderson from Crystal Palace. They're decent, Denmark. I think the Slovenia draw, you know, is a great result for England, because if we win the game, we're top of the group, and we can make changes against Slovenia. But I think it's also a better point for Denmark, because I think some people thought that Slovenia weren't going to be that good, and they were very, very, very unlucky. not to win today. I actually thought, I said, I put it on X, I said that Slovenia are going to win this game. And I thought they might. So, and they were very, very close to doing it. A late equaliser for Serbia if you didn't see it. So, yeah. Fortitude says we're top of the group anyway. Yeah, there should be gatekeeping here. You know, this ain't the idiot channel. We're top of the group anyway. Listen to what I said, Fortitude. I said if we win the game today, we top the group. You've come back with we're top of the group anyway. That's like saying, if I go down the shop and buy a packet of crisps, we're eating crisps tonight, and you saying, we live on Earth, like, what are you talking about? You've typed before you've listened. We don't top the group anyway if we lose. I said if we win today, we top the group. Nothing can stop us. And you've gone, we're top of the group anyway. Come on, you're wasting seconds. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You're very, very welcome, of course. It's an early one. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff. I'm having a drink. Not normal for me on a Thursday to be drinking at 4:30. Feels a bit like Christmas, but it's England. We're in England, aren't we? We're in Germany, aren't we? I think we're in Frankfurt, aren't we? So we're ready to go on this one, and we are very, very excited. Let me just get the stats carousel rolling round for you now. It's a big, big game for England, and some people are saying they fancy a draw. I mean, let me just we'll get a bit of a poll going up for you. Result poll. Denmark do need a result. But I think even if they don't get a result, if they beat Serbia, they'll go through with 4 points anyway. So I fancy an England win. I think when you've got the likes of Harry Kane and Saka and Bellingham and Rice and Foden, I feel like we said on Monday, we can rely on those moments. But Denmark are a little bit of the unknown, certainly. So I think that, you know, it is interesting. It's the same team from Southgate. Yes, it is. I'd love England to say. I'd love England to send a statement. I really would like us to chuck out a statement and really. Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really interesting if we can go out there and put a statement out, because I don't think we did it well. We didn't do it against Serbia. I don't think Portugal did it either in their game, and against Czech Republic, and I don't really think anybody is sending a statement at the moment apart from maybe Spain, Italy and Germany. So you can grow into the tournament, of course you can, but I think this is the sort of game for England where if we win it and we win it well, then the hype will start to build. But if we don't win, then I think it could be I suppose it's a bit of a seesaw game really. If we win it and we win well, I think that the hype starts to build. I think if we draw and play badly, or we lose and we play badly, then it could be catastrophic to the confidence. I think we win. I really, really do, because I just think I can't bear the idea of us wasting another golden generation. I really, really can't. But, you know, Denmark are the unknown, as I think many teams are in international football, of course. I've got to be honest as well. I don't know about you England fans who are England fans, but have you played It's Coming Home or World in Motion? I haven't played any of them yet. I haven't felt like doing it yet. So that to me is an indicator of whether I believe in this team yet. And I haven't listened to It's Coming Home, and I haven't listened to World in Motion, and I haven't listened to Vindaloo. I haven't listened to any of them yet because I think it's too early to do it. Dugout Football Channel with a super chat says, afternoon Mark, what would you say is the best goal of the tournament? Shaqiri or Gula for me, been so many bangers outside the box too, and goals too. I think that in fairness to it was probably the Turkey one, but I was very impressed with Shaqiri's, just how well he got it into the top corner. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, a lot of people saying Rasmus in the chat. A lot of people saying Rasmus is going to do it today. I think you're setting him up for a fall. I don't like the way Rasmus gets spoken about, really. I I think people hold him up as like an Erling Haaland or something like that, and he's still a developing player. And I still think he's capable of having a quiet game as much as he's having an impactful game. Denmark can send a very big statement here. Who is going to be the dark horse of the tournament? That's the interesting thing, isn't it? Who will be the dark horse of this tournament? And, you know, I think Austria, but they've got a massive game against Poland tomorrow. I thought Switzerland, but they weren't that good against Scotland. Some people have said Denmark, maybe. But you've got to start putting statements out, haven't you? Talking of statements, we are glad to say that we're sponsored by Boohooman on the show today. They have got 70% off site-wide. 70% off site-wide at the moment. But you can get an extra 10% by using the code Goldbridge. So if you buy something with a 70% discount and use the code Goldbridge, you will get 77% off. Loads of clothing you can get. They've gone all Euro as well. So if you want to get yourself some clobber in the Euro section, you've got to have that, haven't you? What's it say? It's coming home. You got your bucket hats, and if you like something a little bit, maybe you could get that. Well, look, you know, it's cute. Maybe that's for you. Maybe it's for your kids. Maybe it's for your boyfriend or girlfriend. I don't know. But Boohooman have got loads of other clothes as well, very reasonably priced, and you can get an extra 10% off with the code Goldbridge. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. Fantastic offer there. And as always, Boohooman have got a bit of trivia, bit of pre-match trivia for you. Can you guess the player I'm talking about here? I was born on December the 14th, 1979 in Chester, England. I started my career at Liverpool by making my debut and winging. I got this on the first bit. I literally got this on Chester, England. I started my career at Liverpool making my debut and winning the PFA Young Player of the Year award in 1997. I know I've definitely got it. I left Liverpool in 2004 to join Real Madrid, but only spent 1 year there before moving to NAC. I didn't realise he only spent 1 year at Real Madrid. I felt he was there longer. 1 year at Real Madrid, must have been homesick. After an injury-plagued stint at Newcastle, I joined Manchester United. I won the Premier League in the 2010-11 season. Ultimately, the early part of my career was where I played my best football, and I even won the Ballon d'Or in 2001, which is incredible. I played 89 times for England, scoring 40 goals. And I'm now not respected because I'm really boring. No, I've added that one in. Of course, it's Michael Owen. Congratulations to everyone who guessed that correctly. There was also another clue. I now spend my time polishing Howard Webb's shoes on the VAR review show. But I think that would have been too obvious to throw that in. Of course, it's Michael Owen. Everybody who got that, I got it on Chester for some reason, but you know, I am very good and knowledgeable. Don't forget, Boohooman, links in the description, or scan the QR code. They've got 70% off site-wide at the moment, delivered to your door, but you'll get an extra 10% with the code Goldbridge. That's 77% off. They've got loads of stuff on there. It's an open goal. Score it. Thank you very much to Boohooman. Jacob Thorpe with the super chat says, hopefully Southgate doesn't park the bus. I don't think we will park the bus, but I mean, we've got to improve massively, haven't we, based on what we did the other day. I have got some snacks today. They are a bit crunchy. I will do my best to avoid them, but it's that sort of a thing. Anil says, have you seen any players in the Euros that you want for Manchester United? It's more about watching players that I know Man United should buy. I'm not scouting. I already know that I would like João Neves. We already know that we would like, Xerxes. That looks like it's going to happen. So I find it very difficult to. I'm not saying that there might be a player that Man United get linked to that I'd like us to buy, but I would never buy a player based on how they perform in the Euros. I think it's a massive, massive mistake to do that. If I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't be doing that at all. Hopefully Southgate doesn't park the bus. Yeah, we've heard about that. Let me just do that there. Do you think Southgate seasons his chicken, Mark? Says JSP. Well, if he's anything like his football, absolutely not. I would imagine Southgate's favourite dinner is beans on toast with no beans and no butter, just toast. It's functional. but it's just toast at the end of the day. I don't think he's I don't think he's a very exciting coach, really. Probably doesn't even have the toast as well, says Saints. Please call out James McLean for saying Rice is not world class. Clown, is it on the Trent X account? Is on the TNT X account, says Cameron. I mean, some people would say that Declan Rice isn't world class, but I think that I think he was man of the match against Serbia, and we didn't play well against Serbia, but I do think he was man of the match. Thanks for that, Cameron. What did you think of Javier Hernandez when he was at Man United, his final? I loved it. Loved it. I'd love us to go and get that Jimenez striker from Mexico as well. I mean, I don't know if he's good enough, but I actually welcome that sort of diversity in a Man United team. It's great having players from all around the world playing. That's the way it should be. Thoughts on Griezmann, says Ty. I think he always plays well for France. Is that because international football is easier? I don't know, but yeah, I think he always plays well for France when I watch him. I see Italian media saying Xerxes is close to Milan, and see English media Xerxes is close to Man United. Which one is true, says Albanian Goat. I don't know, mate. I think that there is obviously conflicting reports out there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We're about 14 minutes away from the start of this game. Meow Meow on TikTok says, what's your thoughts on Poland? Big game against Austria tomorrow. I actually think Austria probably deserved to win against, well, not win. They deserved more than they deserved a point against France. They didn't deserve to win. So, but that loss means that, and Poland lost to Netherlands, so it's a bit of a lottery tomorrow. Whoever loses that's out. So it's going to be a very interesting game at 5 o'clock. I'm certainly looking forward to it. In relation to this group, though, look at the group stage at the moment. Denmark on 1 point, Slovenia have drawn 2, Serbia have lost 1 and drawn 1. So it's looking good for England. If we can win this game, we will automatically not only qualify, but we'll be top of the group. No one will be able to catch us, which would mean we would play a week on Sunday at 5 o'clock. Potentially against someone like Romania or someone like that. So it's another incentive for England to keep things progressive, and the last thing you want to do is finish second in your group. I can't remember who Denmark. Probably if Denmark finished second in the group, I think they'd probably get Spain or Italy from what I remember. So yeah. Mark, apparently Spurs, Chelsea and West Ham have entered the race with us for Jonathan David. It's going to be an interesting saga, and he plays today, says Snazzy. Hadn't heard that. A lot of United fans don't actually rate Jonathan David, and yet there will be competition for his place. He's the sort of player that I think could come into the Premier League and do quite well. It's probably a bit overdue, actually. But I think that was because Lille were always pricing him out of a move, but now with 1 year left on his contract, it could happen. The Danish coat is named Humlen, but so is the midfield player. He would be great at United next to Mainu. He will be tough for Rice and Trent, says Reef. Yeah, he's not going anywhere, though. Well, he's certainly not coming to Man United because his Sporting Lisbon release clause is about 80 million euros, which is a lot of money. Do you like... yeah, not reading that one. Canada play Argentina in the Copa America tonight. 1 o'clock in the morning, if you're interested in that. I won't be, because I'm doing this, then a match reaction, then Spain against Italy, and then United stand at 10 o'clock. So by the time it hits about 11, that'll be me done. I won't be staying up late to do anything else. Thoughts on England's backline chances against the top teams like France? Addy, if I'm being completely honest, I'm probably more concerned about the midfield against the better teams than I am about the back four. I think when you look at the left back with Trippier, that is a weakness, but hopefully that will change later in the tournament. And I think when you look at Guehi and Stones, it's just about timing. They got a clean sheet against Serbia, which means their confidence will grow. So I think I'm not that concerned about them. Jordan Pickford is what he is. So yeah, I'm not that worried. I think I'm more worried about Trent in the midfield because I don't think he's a midfielder. We saw that against Serbia when he receives the ball with his back to the opposition. he's actually not used to that and the ball bounces off him. So, yeah. Thanks for your super chats that are coming in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Nico66 says, do you think Palmer would come on if Kane is poor today? I'd love to see Cole Palmer get some game time, but this is I mean, I don't know whether anyone listens to Goldbridge Saves Football podcast with me and Will, but we were dissecting the Serbia game on Monday, and basically what I said was there are 3 things that Southgate needs to learn, and he needs to learn quickly, and he hasn't learnt from them at all, and he could have learnt them. First of all, don't go 1-0 up in a game and sit back. He does it all the time. Croatia in the World Cup semi-final, Italy in the Euros final, Serbia last week. 1-0 up, doesn't matter when he does it, first 10 minutes, sits back. That's stupidity, and he always does it, and he's got to learn from that. Second thing, stop putting square pegs in round holes. It's what Sven used to do years ago. Paul Scholes on the left wing, Gerrard and Lampard as the midfield too, completely imbalanced, but let's get all our best players on the pitch. Southgate's doing the same. Trent in the midfield is just a way to get Trent on the pitch. Foden on the left wing is just a way to get Foden on the pitch. And we give up balance. And we've got players that could play instead of Trent and who could play instead of Foden. So he hasn't learnt from that, has he? Because he's picked the same team again. And then the final thing is make subs. Make subs regardless of reputation. I can't believe Phil Foden and Harry Kane played 90 minutes on Sunday. They should have been brought off with half an hour to go. You know, Serbia are pushing for a goal. There's balls in behind. Harry Kane's no good with the ball in behind, but Ollie Watkins is. That sub should have happened, but I suspect it didn't happen because Gareth Southgate is scared of Harry Kane. And Phil Foden should have been brought off as well because we were defending a lot. And, you know, Phil Foden in a team that's defending on the left wing is a waste of time. At least Anthony Gordon or Eze, they're used to having to defend for Crystal Palace and Newcastle and then counter. So he's got to learn to make subs as well. But they're 3 things that if he doesn't change, we'll be in big, big trouble. Dan Sim, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Thank you very much for that. 61% of you think England are going to win this game. 19% a draw and 20% Denmark, who I think are a very decent side. Never really knew your previous profession, says Akshay. Yeah, I used to work in banking. Shall we have a pre-match spin? One day I'm going to fall off. Better to do it pre-match than after a couple of cans. Yeah, we did it on Saturday, Sunday, and it works. There we go. A pre-match spin. One day I'll go too quick, and that'll be the end of Goldbridge. I think I'd be all right if it bent back. Yeah, I'd be fine. You know, there I was a bit worried. It won't topple over. Look, it's very heavily weighted at the bottom. So good stuff. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and if you're on TikTok, give us a follow. We're heading towards, on YouTube, we're heading towards 176,000, so get involved. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the follows. Colin, Jack, Betsy, User, Danny, you're a legend, Mark says big. Thank you very much for everyone who's given us a follow. 7 minutes to go. Very excited about this one. What would you do? Would you celebrate if Rasmus scored? Oh, sorry, no. Ajit says, would you be happy if Rasmus scored? Honestly, I think I probably would have a wry smile because I don't care about England as much as I care about Manchester United. And I think that's not because I'm not, you know, patriotic. It's just I'm very cynical about England. When Bobby Robson or Sir Bobby Robson was in charge, or, you know, Glenn Hoddle or Sven-Göran Eriksson or Terry Venables was in charge, I was more in tune with England. But I find Southgate, like, he's the, what's the word? What's Southgate? He is the, I just feel with Southgate, he's always the reason that we don't win. And with Sir Bobby Robson a long time ago, Terry Venables, they were fundamental in why we win. So when England don't do well, I almost feel like, well, we all expected that. But Rasmus. I won't be going Rasmus if he scores. Can we get a national anthem sing-along, says Goldio. I don't actually like the national anthem enough to do a sing-along. It's all right. I'm not anti-monarchy or anything like that, but I prefer Jerusalem. I'd sing that every time if I did. Southgate is negative, says Sarah. England always a bride and never the bridesmaid, says Alan. I don't think we're in always a bride and never the bridesmaid. Now that's the other way round, Alan. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. If we were always the bride, that means we get it every time. Can we get an done that one? Thanks for your super chats. Just reading around the comments. Trent's in midfield again, says McLovin. Trent's in midfield obsession is going to kill us, says Goldio. I do know the national anthem. It's God Save the Queen, King. There you go. I'm not singing it though. I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to. Bring me my sword, bring me my bow, brought up on England's prayer. I don't know the words, but I do like that. I do like it a lot. Only 1 star on the shirt. It's better than none. Today this could be... Man United stuff we'll talk about later because I'm doing a 10 o'clock show, so we'll be fine with that. Lots to get involved in. 4 minutes to go to the start of the game. I'd like to see an open game. I'd like to see a game that's, fast and tenacious. Again, we've had no clean sheets in the Premier League so far. No nil-nils, sorry. I'd love to see that continue, and I'm sure it will. I'd be very surprised if we got a 0-0. We don't want to be the 0-0 game. But look, people like Harry Kane have got to perform, haven't they? I think Harry Kane has had an injury coming into this tournament, and you would expect that to lead to a bit of lack of sharpness, I suppose. I understand, but I also think that we have got people like Ivan Toney. We have got people like Cole Palmer. We have got people like Ollie Watkins, who I feel are more than capable in this system of, performing and being given an opportunity. And I think that to that end, I'd love to see him get a bit of game time. I'd love to see him make some changes, but I don't know that will happen. I don't know. Players all shaking their hands here. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Get in on it, Shake your hands. Yeah, I am doing Italy, Spain later. Very much looking forward to it. Kenneth said, I thought Denmark looked very limited on Sunday. Yeah, they did struggle. They did struggle. But I think Slovenia are probably better than people think. England, says Azalea. I never expected Southgate to experiment with Trent in the midfield, as he's, quote, unconservative, but it's concerning that he doesn't learn and adapt from it, says Bart. Flores official says that Southgate is equivalent to Lieutenant Dyke from Band of Brothers. Fernando, thanks for the follow, and 444 Central as well. Appreciate that. We want revenge from 2020, says Miss B. A lot of people getting ready for this one. Kasper Schmeichel, the captain for Denmark. Harry Kane for England. Well, let's hope Jude can get another goal. Musiala's got 2. Lots of people like to compare those two. Can Jude Bellingham deliver again? He's in that number 10 position. Need to get Phil Foden in the game a lot more as well. Out on that left-hand side. I thought Saka did well. obviously the substitution was like for like, but Phil Foden did drift in that game. And looking at the stadium, it's probably, I'd say it's 3/4 English here in Frankfurt. They're swapping sides, which is unusual in a ground that's not a home ground, but you know, maybe they want to attack the Danish fans first, or look at them for this. I agree. I think Jude is much better than Musiala, Simon. Nice having a beer on an early afternoon, 5 o'clock. Why is Southgate wearing his wife's blouse, says Kawari. Oh, he thinks he's a bloody fashionista, doesn't he? He thinks he's with it because he wore a waistcoat. Gur says, do you agree that Trent Alexander-Arnold should not be there? I like Trent. I think he's a very, very good player. But would I be happy if Harry Kane was playing as a number 8? Would I be happy if Phil Foden was playing as a holding midfielder? Would I be happy if John Stones was playing as a number 10? And that's what I think about Trent. We're playing him out of position and hoping that it works. And that's it. When Trent plays for Liverpool, he gets criticised for not being able to defend. But it's the balancing act that he is an amazing crosser of the ball. So there is this acceptance that Trent isn't very good at tracking runners when he plays at right back. So we put him centre midfield, where you've got to track runners, and also take away his ability to put crosses in. So it's a risk. It could work. If it does work, we'll praise it. But it could be a risk. We've gone long ball here from Pickford, and Denmark win it straight away. And Rasmus, I think, will get there, and does get there. And that's the thing about Rasmus and Wind. They will run. Good play there. And they got a shot off straight away from Denmark. Good start. I think it was Højbjerg got the shot. Played a 1-2 with Eriksen. Straight away, getting in off Trent. It's a simple 1-2. It's hard, you know. It's really hard to play a position that you're not used to playing. But it's early days, early days. Most entertaining non-England international squad, says Samsung. What does that even mean? Eric, thanks for your super chat. I'm 6 foot, Dean. We're not going down that road. Oh, very nice. Lesnide says it's a shaky start. Get a grip, lads. Make sure you share the video if you're on YouTube. Click the share button. Share it on your socials. The ultras are in town. You don't have to support England. Everybody's welcome on here. But in fact, I think that makes it more fun. Mark, you're going to chant Rasmus if he scores? Oh yeah, that'll go really well, Marino. I've been hoping Rasmus scores so I can say Rasmus wearing an England top. I think it'd do me really good. You know what? I think when I walk down my local afterwards tonight, about 10:30, they'll probably just all put me on their shoulders and say that was an amazing thing to do. Looks like the England fans feel the same way about their manager as we do. Mark, you're gonna I've done that from Marino as well. There's Trippier. I'd like to see some good football from England. That left-hand side is a bit dead, though. I mean, Foden's actually hugging the touchline as well. So we've got a right back at left back and a number 10 on the left wing who is hugging the touchline. And then we've got Harry Kane dropping deep, which I detest. I absolutely detest Harry Kane doing that. We've got Foden and Bellingham and Trent in the midfield for creativity, and then Harry Kane drops in. Who are you going to fucking pass to, Harry? Who are you dropping into to play the ball in for? Because Foden ain't quick, so you've only got Saka. Just stay on the last man. He's dropping in again. Look at him. He's deeper than Bellingham. Do you like pork scratchings, Mark? And lifestyle... I do like pork scratchings. I haven't had them for a while. Now that we know you're 6 foot, how many inches are you? Says lifestyle tube. I don't know what that means. Again, the whole Harry Kane dropping in thing is about who's the boss. Southgate should be telling him not to do it, but he's probably scared. Punisher says, yes, we know you don't like Harry Kane. I do like Harry Kane. He's world class. But he doesn't need to drop in an England team. Good header away by Guehi. Look, my frustration and vocality is probably similar to a lot of England fans. I want England to win the Euros, and I think we should win the Euros. But my stress point is I watch how we play, I watch how we set up, and I see the limitations, and they all come from the person who's in charge, who will be the reason we don't win it if we don't. And that's my frustration. I want England to win. And I know we should win it, but it's the guy in charge, isn't it? And he's crap football. What would you do if you were in charge of England? Someone just said. I'd make 2 changes to this team. I'd take Trent out, and I'd probably start Bellingham as an 8 and Foden as a 10, and I'd put Gordon on the left. So I'm only taking 1 player out of the team. I'm just moving Bellingham next to Rice as an 8, and I'm using Foden as the 10, Gordon on the left, and Trent to the bench. And then if Kane played like he has been for the last couple of games, I'd take him off after an hour and bring Watkins on and say play on the last man. Thanks for the follow, Pappy. Nearly 20,000 watching on YouTube. Make sure you share the video, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Denmark have started off okay. Good shape. I mean, the thing about Denmark is there is a vulnerability to pace, but Harry Kane ain't quick, and neither's Foden. So we sort of play into Denmark's hands in the sense that we've got to work our way up the pitch, and that ball over the top's never going to happen unless it's to Saka, which you can sort of predict. Although Bellingham's trying to break the lines. There it is. That's the ball. That's the ball we've got. Saka is the only one that they'll be worried about. Foden is quick, Mark, says Harvey. Oh, yeah. Phil Foden's known to be like Mbappe. That's what they call him at Man City. Kylian Foden. Foden's asset isn't pace, let's be honest. I'm not saying he's slow, but he's not known for his pace. He's known for his close ball, magnetic ball control, give and go, creativity. He's not known for running in behind. Foden's quicker than Saka. Go and play tennis. You shouldn't be watching football. Do you think Graham Potter would be an upgrade to Southgate, says D? I think Graham Potter's problem is whether he'd get the respect. We are currently 15 seconds, 7 minutes and 16 seconds in. There's a lovely switch on here, but it's a crap ball. Oh no, he's going to get it. It's a lovely ball. Kept it in, but Trippier has been fouled. Chiri says, not to beat on a dead horse, but I still think Rashi's pace would have been a plus, even as a sub. I agree. I genuinely thought that he would take Rashford, and I know we're going to be in the minority, Siri, but I never would start Rashford for England. But Look at what he did in the World Cup. I think in a squad, it's about attributes. And, you know, Marcus Rashford for that diagonal in the last 20 minutes. What's wrong with Kyle Walker? I'd kick him out the stadium now. He's got a Southgate cardboard cut out. Well, I don't know what Kyle Walker did. I think he's gone down on his ankle. This pitch, or his studs, have got a problem. Because he slipped in the first minute. England are playing way too compact. Look at Denmark's wide midfielders. They're on the attack. They have so much space as the HPM. I think he's all right. It's just changed. Yeah, told you, his studs aren't big enough. He's gone down twice in the first 10 minutes. Observation, yeah. He's the only one slipping, says Hyper. It's his studs. Which team outside the classic favourites have you been most impressed with so far this tournament, says Oscar? Austria. Austria, Turkey, Switzerland, although I thought they were a bit crap yesterday. I'm looking forward to watching Romania, Belgium, but I think that might be a flash in the pan. Would you like to see Rasmus score, Mark, says Keith? I've been asked this so many times. No. I mean, I don't mind him scoring if England are winning 4-0. But I don't want him to score the winner. I mean, I'd be pleased for him if he scores, but I wouldn't be pleased for me or England. Chad says it's a poor start here. The balance is all wrong. I mean, too many square pegs in round holes. Right, here's Saka. He's a player who actually is in position. It's a good tackle on Bellingham. No, he wants a free kick, I think. Thanks for the follow. It's Zidane on TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we're getting very close to 176,000. Click the button, subscribe, and get involved. Remember, 8 o'clock tonight is probably the best game of the tournament so far. Italy against España. Really excited to see that. Thought Italy was so well organised against Albania. And Spain obviously beating Croatia 3-0. So really interesting. That's going to be about who tops the group. And topping that group should give you an easier game. Guehi's got himself into trouble, but Rasmus's first touch didn't work out and he was offside anyway. He4T, thanks very much for the follow. I mean, that's dangerous there. Guehi's unsighted and Rasmus was in. It's very difficult in this tournament as well to judge teams off one game. Like Serbia did play very, very defensively, didn't they, against us? And Slovenia did it against Denmark as well. So Denmark and England could find joy in playing a different opposition today. Like I expect Spain and Italy will be quite a tight game, but I might be completely wrong. Kane gives good slops. Oh, lifestyle. You're disgusting. The sad thing is we don't like scoring. We only beat Serbia by a header, says Paul. Here we go. Good play by Foden, who... Oh, I tell you what. That's where you want Phil Foden. Picking up the ball in the number 10 position. Little twist and turn of the hips. gets it on his left foot and he knows he should do better. He's in the box and it's a great chance for Foden. It might not be a great chance for everybody else, but for Phil Foden there, gets away from his man in the box. That's where you want him, in and around the number 10. That's what he's all about. Thanks, James and Clint on TikTok, legends. That's where I want Phil Foden, in that number 10 position. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We've got over 20,000 on YouTube. Legends. Smash a like and get involved. The pitch is crap, says Hanko. Yeah. I've played the game. When I played at Villa, and when I played at Anfield, and when I played at West Ham, and when I played at Palace, the grass, it ain't like your local park. It's very synthetic. It's hard to like churn up mud because it is a type of grass and there is mud underneath it, but it doesn't churn up. But look at that pitch. It's like, it's proper churning up. You don't normally see that with Premier League grounds, and I'm surprised we're seeing it in Germany, really. But this is like an old traditional pitch. It's really cutting up. And you don't normally get that with a modern pitch. But England have had a good couple of minutes here. It's overdue. Afternoon, Mark. Have you seen the iSport Twitter story saying Branthwaite is fully committed to Everton and has not indicated he's wanted to leave? Why did he do personal terms then? Dance. You know what I'm saying? Rahul says Trent gets too much hate. Other nations would love to have him. Southgate can't get the best out of him. He should play the role Cruz plays for Germany. I think he should just play right back, mate. I really like Trent. I think he's a good player, but, you know, as I said, if you put John Stones up front, I'd hate it. If you put Harry Kane as a holding midfielder, I'd hate it. It's just being played out of position. 0-0 at the moment. Thanks for the super chats on YouTube, legends. Hyper says Denmark should win this. I think it has a feel of a tight game. 1-0, 2-0, 1-1. That's something like that. Jacob says Walker's ankle's gone. I am looking at him. I think he looks all right. Thing is that I did that at Anfield. I mean, I've played the game, but I was playing at Anfield and I did twist my ankle from a late tackle. And I played on fine, but 4 weeks later, it really hurts. And 3 days after I did it, it really hurt. So it's the swelling he's going to get from that. He'd probably be all right in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a doubt for Slovenia. Trent plays hoofball. Ooh, well done. Declan Rice, well done. Harry Kane, good block. I tell you why the Danes are so good at blocking. Because they invented Lego. Boom-dum-dum. Yeah, I mean, look, talking about Trent again, you put him as a holding midfielder, he's very limited. He's there to hit the long ball because he can't cross. You put Trent as a number 6, all he's going to do is look for the ball over the top. Because he can't put a cross in, can he? Bellingham was starting at Mainu's age, so what if Southgate excuse as to why he won't play Mainu, says Wayne. Thanks for the follow, David and Ahmed. Come on, England. Come on, England. Look at Kyle Walker. Oh, brilliant pace. Didn't see him. We've got to score from this. Goal, Harry Kane. Yes, get in. 1-0 to England, and that's all because of Kyle Walker. Denmark sleeping on the back post. You've got to score there. And the number 17 just didn't know Kyle Walker was there. He was dealing with Saka. Kyle Walker, Billy Whiz. Ondele, yipa, yipa. Absolute pace down the right-hand side. Comes from nowhere. Puts the cross in. And Harry Kane is there to score his first goal of the tournament. And maybe that can be the catalyst, because I tell you what, that's opportunistic for Kane. But absolutely brilliant. Brilliant from Kyle Walker. Brilliant pace from Kyle Walker. It just comes from absolutely nowhere. And when you're in this position, I mean, to be fair, he messes up the cross. I thought he crossed it to... I don't know what Kyle Walker does here. I thought he just cuts it back to Kane, because Kane's in a brilliant position. But it actually deflects off 2 players to Kane. So, look at him. He's just got no idea Kyle Walker's there. Should be getting a shout. Never gets it. And it deflects off 2... Kyle Walker's cross is crap, actually. It deflects off 2 Danish players perfectly for Harry Kane. But we'll take it. In these sort of games, it's important to score first. And England lead 1-0. After 20 minutes. Fine margins, moments, goal poacher. All these things don't matter because they're all relevant. Now park the bus. Wow. This is, you took the words right out of my mouth. Meatloaf. If we sit back now and invite the pressure for the next hour, because we've scored in more or less the same time that we did against Serbia. If we do the same thing as we did against Serbia, then Southgate will get absolute pelters again. We've got to go on the front foot. But it's good to see that Kyle Walker's ankle doesn't seem to be bothering him. Well, certainly not bothering him with that pace. See the City players giving all the credit to Kyle Walker, says Jack. See, look how deep we are here. Saka blasts it away and Harry Kane is further back than Bellingham again. Rifat says, you said it's not over on X. Is it Elise or Todibo? All I say is I'm feeling more positive than I did this morning about one of those. Right. Early days, but Denmark having a lot of the ball at the moment. Taff says, why are England dropping deep again? It's what we do. Get rid of it, Trippier. That'll do. Get rid of it. Do you know where to see the Argentina game tonight, Mark? Says Oscar. I don't know. I don't know who's got the Copa America highlight rights, actually. Someone will know in the chat. In the UK, I don't know. Somebody will have it. I don't know whether it'll be on normal TV. That pitch is dangerous. Look at it. What have they done to this pitch? It's horrific. Genuine question. I haven't seen a lot of Jude Bellingham playing. I know he scores a lot of goals, but what does he offer that he plays as a midfielder and not as a striker, says Rhea? Look, I think Bellingham as a 10, obviously he plays a lot there for Real Madrid and England, but I just think he really should be playing a little bit deeper because I think he's got all the attributes to play as an 8. Jack says he'll celebrate Erasmus' goal. Well, you would because you're Scottish, Jack. What player from England history would you put in this team, says Dan. Good question. What do I think this England team needs? Well, I'd probably put Sir Bobby Robson in charge. It needs a bloody manager. We've got the players. Part the bus incoming, says Jack. Yeah, I'd change the manager, not the players. I mean, Rooney in the team would be nice to see, but we don't actually need any players from the past. Don't let it bounce, Saka. Please don't park the fucking bus now. Southgate parking the National Express as we speak. Says 58 go. Yeah, we don't want to see that happening. Keep the ball for 5 minutes, says Zed Marcus. It was, look, I think Kyle Walker deserved the look. His cross wasn't very good, but the way he, got down that right-hand side and caught the Danish wing-back out was fantastic. And it's very important to go 1-0 up. But Denmark are dominating the play now. I hate this. I absolutely hate this style of football. Fucking moments. Counter-attack FC. What a fucking idiot. He's got so many good players. Why can't we just get hold of the ball? Play keep ball for 5 minutes, like somebody said. Look how deep we are now. This pitch is not very good, says H. England can't afford to park the bus against Denmark. Serbia didn't punish them, but Denmark will, says Owen. Ross says Southgate's definitely going to park the bus for a 1-0 win. And this team needs Ashley Cole, says Nad. We do need a left-back, you're right. Hisham, thanks for the follow. And Harry as well. Also Liam on TikTok, thank you very much. Ball over the top. You know what? If you're a Man United fan, I'm going to say one word. Solskjaer. Look, we finished second in the league with Solskjaer. We got to a Europa League final with Solskjaer. You can do reasonably well. It's just a hard watch. Mark, check Walker's cross for the goal. It was bad because the crap pitch went from under him. His foot ripped it open. I don't know. This pitch is dangerous, lads. Have we had any other games at Frankfurt? We must have done. Blues Enthusiast says, look at us since we scored. It's an indicator of what's going to happen for the next 60. Right, England need to counter here. He's booked him. Vestergaard's been booked. Yeah, definitely a foul. I think the referee's got that right. Definitely a foul. Josh says all the pictures have actually been bad so far, Mark. Hi, Mark. Dutch guy. I'd love to see England do well, but I just cannot see it with how negative you play. I think what will happen with England, Zenith, is that we will easily... Well, no, I don't want to say the word easily. We will grind our way to the quarterfinals, because I think if we top the group, we should get a relatively straightforward round 16 game. And then in the quarterfinals, we'll hit somebody good, and we'll either find our way past that one into the semis, or we'll go out in the quarterfinals, or we'll go out in the semis. Well, as soon as we play somebody good, we're not going to be prepared, basically. You can't grind. You can grind it out against Serbia. You can grind it out against Denmark. You might get away with grinding it out against one of the good teams once, but you can't grind it out 3 times in a row. And from the quarterfinals, we'll start playing good teams, and that'll be the problem. And the problem will be he hasn't used the group games to actually build a rhythm of a system that can beat the big teams. This system won't beat the big teams. You can't score and then sit back. You just can't. I think we'll be all right now, though, because I don't think Denmark against a low block are that good. We saw that against Slovenia. They struggled. Pickford gets hold of it. Trav, welcome to the Members Club. And Jack Glancy says, parking the bus is a waste of such good talent. It's hilarious to watch as a Scotsman, but so bad to watch as a fan. Denmark playing better football after the goal, says Peter. Well, Fabio Silva, thanks for the follow. You would expect that to a certain extent anyway. You would expect that Denmark will have to respond. But England, I mean, it's gone 50-50. Our possession stats have dropped 20%. That is disgusting. It's sickening. Absolutely sickening. I mean, you wonder, is the guy so limited that he actually just thinks, if I can get one goal in every game, I can hold on? Has he learnt nothing from the Euros final that he lost because of that approach? Like, he should be using Serbia and Denmark to go and get the second and third and fourth goal, to play more progressive football. And he's not. He's still not learned. He's still doing what he did against Italy in the final. Get a goal and then hope for a counter. Good play by Saka. That was a foul. I thought that was a foul. Liam says, you're so negative. Mate, I'm English. It's my country. I can say what I bloody well like. If you want to, you know, run around your garden with your lube because you're happy with the way that we've played in the last 2 games and over the last 6 years, by all means, enjoy it. I'd say you're too positive. But don't tell me, you know, this isn't something that we've been doing for the last 8 years under this manager. And it's, you know, I don't give a shit about beating Denmark. I'm sure we will. We'll top the group. I'm thinking about the quarterfinals. I'm not thinking about topping the group. I'm not thinking about beating Denmark because that should happen. What I'm thinking about is how the hell, you know, you watch Argentina in a World Cup or Brazil or something. You get the identity of what they are and you go, they're going to be a threat in this tournament. But, you know, I look at I'm looking at the latter stages, mate. At what point do you think the players get tired of Southgate's tactics and to decide to go on the front foot, Sir Stephen? And Eureka says, genuine curiosity, why do you think England are better than France? Our bench is as deep as yours, we're better on the ball, and Deschamps is world class. I didn't say we're better than France. I haven't said we're better than Portugal. I've said we should win the Euros with that squad. That's the statement. I demand we win the Euros because that squad should win the Euros. If we don't win it, it will be because of Southgate. And you may... Ooh, what's he done there? Pitch is like moist cake, says Daniel. Peter says Trent's not a midfielder. Well, since we've scored, we've sat back. Which is exactly what we did against Serbia. Corner comes in. Headed over the bar from Denmark. You right?
Yeah.
Winning 1-0. You predicted that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yes,
Like, we're like twins.
I'm watching this now.
Hmm. Sebastian says, why do England go to sleep when they score? It's tactical, mate. It's tactical. It's like when you're out with your mates and, you know, there's 5 or 6 of you and, you know, someone goes up to do a round, but every time the same person doesn't do it. It's tactical. Oh, they're in the toilet, or I had to go and take a phone call. This is not coincidence. We score a goal and we sit back. He's been doing it for years. This pitch is absolutely terrible. Really is. It's so bad. Oh my God! What a goal of the tournament! You mentioned the name, Holmlund. Remember the name, Holmlund. He's just scored the best goal of the tournament, and that's what you get for sitting back, you boring prat. That's what you get, you boring prat. You bloody deserve that. An absolute worldie. You can't sit back at 1-0. You can't sit back because someone will score a worldie. Someone will get a penalty. Someone will get a deflection. You boring waster. You're a waster, Southgate. You're wasting this team. This squad should be winning the bloody tournament. And you're sitting back when you go 1-0 up for 10 minutes. 20 minutes ago we scored. We've sat on our bloody arse doing nothing. We deserve this. They deserve that. They deserve that. We don't deserve it. We're not picking the team. But they deserve that because he's a bloody boring shite. Absolutely. They deserve that. There's no doubt about it. Totally deserved. Southgate prat. Totally deserved. You get what you deserve in life sometimes. What a goal. Any other game I would have celebrated that. Bloody great goal, that. Do you blame Pickford? No. You can't blame Pickford for that. It's an absolutely fantastic goal. I put Denmark win, Rasmus goal on a bet, says Peter. Dougie says we're so predictable. Favourite international cuisine, says Oscar. Oh, lasagna. This woman in commentary knows nothing about football, says Dylan. Well, I'm not listening to it. I'm not listening to your sexism and I'm not listening to the commentary. You know what? In a way, I'm glad that has happened in the second game. Because if we kept doing this all the way to the bloody quarterfinals and then we go out, that lesson needs to be learnt now. And in a way, I'm glad it's happened because you can't keep scoring and sitting back. Against Serbia, all right, they might not be good enough. I'm glad Denmark scored that goal because we needed it. We need that, you know, kick up the arse. You can't do... I tell you what, I'm actually... you know what? Can I just shock you? I'm glad they scored that goal. One, because it was a worldie and you don't want them to be deprived. But two, this happened against Serbia for a frigging hour. And then we score against Denmark and we do it for 20 minutes again. Sitting back. We had 67% possession at 0-0. It went down to 45 at 1-0. It literally is his DNA. DNA. It's in his fucking DNA. Knobhead. Yeah, score a goal and sit back. Euros final at Wembley. Score an early goal, sit back. He's only got a job because he wore a bloody waistcoat. He's a politician. He should be bloody standing for Wickham North, not bloody managing England. Don't let him shoot again. Corner. Look at Declan Rice. That midfield is all over the place. He's got to make a change. Midfield is all over. Midfield is a mess. He's got to change the midfield. Look at Rice there. He's shaking his head, walking back to the corner. Bellingham's too far forward. Obviously, Trent can't play the position. He's getting overrun. Midfield's getting absolutely overrun. Watch Declan Rice on that corner there when it got deflected. He's just storming away, shaking his head. Put Bellingham next to Rice. Put Foden at 10. Take Trent off. HPN says, when you play not to lose, you're going to pay. Southgate thinks he's Mourinho without understanding what makes Jose special. The funny thing is, even if Southgate was the English Mourinho, it'd be 12 years too late because nobody can do that anymore. Not even Jose can do that. Football's not like that anymore. You can't score a goal and sit back. That was 2010, mate. It's 2024. You can't do that anymore. Lord Bentner loved that goal, says SG. The only positive is that I hope this tournament will finally end all talk about Southgate being a candidate for managing a big club. Says Stephen. Being Irish, even Southgate has me fuming, says Joshua. You know what? I genuinely think you don't even need to be an England fan. You can enjoy us losing, but it's the squad. It's the players we've got. Like, we're weak at the back. We haven't got a left back. We've lost Harry Maguire. We've got a good holding midfielder in Declan Rice, but all our talent is attack. Kane, Watkins, Tony, Palmer, Gordon, Foden, Saka, Bellingham. You know, all our talent is in the attack. And we've got a boring prat in charge. Nick P says, the shocking part was Southgate probably went back to his hotel after the first game and thought, I don't need to do anything. Why change a winning team? Well, he should have changed. I hate to say that the English nation know more about football than the English manager, but he never should have picked the same team. That whole you don't change a winning team thing is a complete and utter joke if you didn't play well in the game. Lovely play by Foden. Individualistic. He should have slipped Harry Kane in, though. He's right. It was a great run by Foden, but he should have passed. Just because you win a game doesn't mean that you don't change a winning team. Did we play well when we won against Serbia? No, we played shit for an hour. He's a bloody idiot. He never should have picked the same team. Absolute prat. Didn't realise I signed up for Suicide Watch, says Blues Enthusiast. If this England team had Klopp, they'd win the Copa America, says Parker. I think they'd probably win Wimbledon as well. Nobody makes Mark lose his head more than Gareth, says Thomas. I mean, but are you not losing your head as well? If this was 2010 World Cup under Capello, it was shit, but we were a shit team. You know, the problem I've got is that I look at that squad and I look at those players and we should be easily competing to win the tournament. Easily get into the final. And I look at it and I go, unless you're Georgia, everyone will give us a game. Even Georgia probably give us a game. It's the hope that frustrates you because we've got such a good team. Anyway, at least we'll have to attack a little bit more now. But then we'll go 2-1 up and we'll sit back again. Thing is, I've seen England under Southgate 2-0 down and he goes for it. It's just weird. You know what it is? It's his in-game management. It's appalling. If we're 2-0 down, he goes for it. And we play really, really well. But then when we're 1-0 up, we sit back. There's just no consistency to his game plan. I'd have lost my head if United signed Gareth, says Peter. Thanks, Josh. Trent not good enough for midfield and internationals. No wonder Kane is dropping back, says Nigel. I feel sorry for... Is that goal of the tournament, by the way? Are we saying that's goal of the tournament from Denmark? I think it probably is. Jack, welcome to the Members Club. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, I completely forgot. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved. We are doing Spain-Italy after this at 8 o'clock, which I'm looking forward to from a footballing point of view. But, you know, as an England fan myself, I'm very frustrated, which just seems to be a recurring theme here. Thanks for the follows, Dima and Elvie on TikTok, and Ivy and Dennis as well. Tobin, a lot of people saying, what changes would you make? I don't think he's a half-time sub guy anyway, is he? He's too conservative. David Cameron won't make subs at half-time. But, look, in fairness to England, defensively, I think Guehi and Stones have done a good job. But you know, the goals are worldy, isn't it? There's no doubt about that. Oh God. Don't you hate it when you put your phone on to charge and then you don't turn the charger on? Another shot for Denmark. Foden's been trash. Trent looks so lost in the midfield, says Jack. I'd rather watch... Yeah, I'm not reading that, Andrew. It sounds horrible. Says everything you need to know about Southgate, that he's got the best right back in the world playing defensive midfielder. Square holes, round pegs. Is Rasmus for Denmark. Oh, Rice, don't lose it there. Does very well to recover. I feel bad for Trent. He's a fish out of water, says Matt. I feel bad for Trent. Look, don't blame Trent. Don't blame Trent. Blame the system. Second goal of the tournament first. Second for goal of the tournament, says Sebastian. First is Shaqiri. Oh, Jack Glancy wants me to do a poll for goal of the tournament. Good idea. Was that goal of the tournament, yes or no? Well, we're about to hit half time here. Look, let's be clear. Our goal was opportunist. It was a good goal, but it was opportunist. So you look at Trent there, drifts to the right hand side, puts a good cross in. Here's Saka. Come on. Come on. He's going to blow, you know. Foden with the shot over the bar. That's going to be half time. Yeah, look, absolutely fuming with that. Fair play to Denmark for getting back into it, but absolutely fuming with that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Statistically, let's have a look at that game at half time, because I think it's going to tell a story that it's shit. It's just absolutely shit. There's no two ways about it. We scored a goal against Serbia, and I don't know what... Steve Holland is walking along with Southgate with a piece of paper in front of him, going like this, talking about tactics. We know the tactics. Take the piece of paper away. We get a lucky goal and then we park the bus. You've got no ticky-tacky shit. Stop acting like you've got some sort of secret sauce. You got no sauce. Absolutely none. Covering your mouth up with a piece of paper. You're talking shit, mate. You should be wiping your mouth with Dulux because you're talking shite. Bloody twats. No, I'm absolutely furious. This is a tournament that England should be winning, this tournament. You look at the squad that we've got, we should be winning it. And I think when I look at how we've started that game, very, 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 very equal game. No doubt about it. And then they've come back, scored a goal. We scored a goal, sorry. And then we sit back again, like we did against Serbia, like we did against Italy, like we did against Croatia. 2018 World Cup semi-final. We score first, we sit back. 2021 Euros final at Wembley, home tournament. We score first, we sit back. What happened? We lost both games. Serbia last Sunday, we score first, we sit back, and we try and hold on, and we did. Denmark, we score first, we sit back. It's evidential. It's absolutely evidential. You see it in the stats. It's there for you all to see. We sit back and we give up the possession. We park the bus. It's 2024. It's not 2010. It's absolutely unacceptable. And at some point, the Southgate brigade have got to start calling it for what it is. This is not victimisation of a manager that's decent. This is a guy that has taken a golden generation and flushed it down the toilet. This team is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You've got the likes of Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Declan Rice, Saka, Harry Kane in the starting lineup. You know? On the bench, you've got Eze, Gallagher, Gordon, Mainu, Palmer, Tony, Watkins. You've got options to balance that team out. We've got square pegs in in round holes. We've got one of the world's best right backs, attacking right backs, one of the world's best attacking right backs, playing as a holding midfielder, looking completely lost, only able to hit long balls because he can't cross it. We've got Phil Foden, Premier League Player of the Year, one of the best number 10s in the game in the last 12 months, stuck on the left wing. And then we've got a manager who's got pictures of Tony Pulis in his Speedos on his bloody hotel room wall. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. We are capable of going deep in this tournament. We are capable of winning this tournament. And I'll argue that with anyone. I don't care. Gary Neville, Gary Lineker, Gary bloody... Can't think of anyone else called Gary. But he is sabotaging a team that's built to attack with his obsession with defence. And I, for one, am glad that Denmark scored, because I look at that team and I go, Phil Foden's on the bloody left wing, hugging the touchline. Trent Alexander-Arnold's playing holding midfielder. You either pick him or you don't. You either have balance or you don't. Put Anthony Gordon on the left wing. He was one of the best left wingers in the Premier League last year. Put him on the left wing. Put Jude Bellingham next to Trent and play Foden as a 10. Or drop Foden, keep Bellingham at 10 and play Conor Gallagher or Kobe Mainu, who know how to play as midfielder. But balance your bloody team out. Balance your team. And I tell you what, I've got another hot take. Maybe you take Harry Kane off, because he's dropping deep all the time and he's got no pace. Ollie Watkins will play on their last man and run the channels, and you'll have an out ball, so that when Trent's looking for the ball over the top, he'll actually have a striker that can go and bloody get it. I'm worried. I've said it's coming home because it should come home, but I'm genuinely worried about just how bad this coach is. Like, I knew he was the problem, and I knew if we won it, it would be despite Southgate. But I look at it now and I go, even though we've got the players to win it, I think he's going to sabotage it sooner than I thought. Because you cannot play like this. You know, you'd get done in the Championship playing like this. I think you'd get done in League One. I mean, with all due respect, talk to me. You know, talk to me if you know about League One and League Two, because I don't watch it. But name me a manager in the modern game that's anywhere near successful by scoring the first goal and parking the bus. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I tell you what, it really is that simple. We are failing because we've got a manager who is sabotaging us with tactics that belonged in the game 14 years ago. People don't play like this anymore. The three things that we knew in 2018 and we knew in the last Euros are still the problem now. The same things we knew on Sunday night are still the problem at half-time here. He puts square pegs in round holes because he wants to get his best players on the pitch, and he sacrifices balance. He scores a goal and he goes and defends, and he won't take off certain players. And that's going to kill you. Because we know. We've seen it. Look at Sir Alex Ferguson in 99. 1-0 down to Bayern Munich, wins it 2-1 in stoppage time through substitutions. How many games have we seen change because of, you know, a tactical tweak or a substitution? And when you've got a manager that won't, you know, balance the team out, won't make certain substitutes, and won't tactically tweak it. I mean, in a very simple way, we score and we sit back. What we're trying to do is park the bus as soon as we score a goal. And I don't know anybody else who does that. I really, really don't. I've got no idea. Trent isn't a midfielder. You can pass though, says Jaden. More like the golden shower generation, says Joshua. You compare France versus England starting 11. France has better players 9 out of 11, all except Saka and Bellingham. How are England favourites, says Ty. I've never said we're favourite. This is the second time now. When have I said we're favourites? I've said we should win it. With the team we've got, we should win it. I never said we were favourites. I don't know what you're talking about, France. Anyway, won't do it, but Trent off and Mainu in, says Maxime. Well, look, I love Kobe Mainu. I'm not saying he's going to win us the tournament. To me, it doesn't really matter whether it's Mainu, Gallagher or Wharton. Just put somebody in that position who can play it. Hi, Mark. Love the content from That's Football United Stand from Korea, says Brendan. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved. We are going to be doing Italy-Spain at 8 o'clock, which I'm really looking forward to. Have you ever considered what the criticism does to Southgate's mental health, says Plain. Oh, mate, I've got one answer for you there. Grow up. We're talking about football, mate. You know, when a comedian goes on the stage and gets booed for a crap joke, does he pull out the mental health card? I mean, what are you talking about? Why do you think they get paid the big bucks? What are you saying we should do then as England fans? Just all sit here and go, oh yeah, we're all giving up our time about something that we really care about, but let's not criticise him because he might get upset about it. If he doesn't like the fucking job, why has he stayed in it for so long? He's crap at it, mate. He's crap at the job. This is an entertainment business. He isn't delivering. End of story. You go for the throw after a goal, they come out, says Oddie. This team is like buying a Ferrari for Nan to have, says Archie. Fulkrieg's goal was world class. The power was insane, says I don't know who said that. I'm trying to read it. Jamie. Mainu would solve the midfield problem, says Jack. And putting Trent in the midfield is a very poor decision. I really hope after this tournament England get a better manager, says Mohammed. His tactics shows his best championship level. I don't even know if he's championship level, Brian. Rasmus to send the English back home to their fish and chip shop, says Ivor. Well, that won't happen even if we lose. Captains have gone missing as well, says Chris. Is it goal of the tournament? 52% say yes and 48% say no. So 1-1 at half time here. Would love to see United sign Holmlund. Looks unplayable, says Lenz. I don't like the Trent pylon. Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the best attacking right-backs in Europe. Categorically. Defensively, he's a bit suspect, but going forward, he's fantastic. He is going to get absolutely scapegoated in this game, but he doesn't pick himself at holding midfielder. The person who deserves the blame for Foden or Trent or anybody else playing badly is the guy who picks the team. If we didn't have a holding midfielder and we had two right backs that were really good, I'd understand it. No, if we were Albania and our two best players were right backs and you put one of them as a holding midfielder, I understand it. But we've got holding midfielders. Southgate is picking the team. Southgate is responsible. I don't think it's fair to be criticising Trent because I think it's a very, very hard job to do. I've played the game. I'm sure you've played the game. It doesn't matter whether you've played pub football, amateur football, semi-pro or pro. When you play as a right back and you're used to playing as a right back and then you're asked to play as a holding midfielder, it's a whole new ball game. I know Kimmich can do it, but not everybody's Kimmich. Could you imagine Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing as a holding midfielder? It's not easy, bruv. It really isn't. Went down the wrong hole. We're back. We're back. Warwick says, let Foden do his thing. He needs to take over. Well, I would put Foden as a number 10 and put Bellingham next to Rice. It's logical to me. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 10 away. If you're on YouTube, bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're only 10 away from 176,000. So thanks everyone who's tuning in. Every game is a watch-along on the YouTube channel. That's Football. Thanks for getting involved. Do you think he'll make a change at half-time? No. Absolutely not. He ain't going to make a change at half-time. No way. He's just not that guy. Not that guy at all. Bloody hell, got 7,000 tuning in on TikTok. You're a bunch of legends. Thanks for following. Absolute legends. Thanks for all the follows there. Quan says, what about Conor Gallagher? Look, if I'm the manager at half-time, let me put it very, very simply. You know, I've done a bit of coaching, not at this level, but I think football's quite simple, really. It's just better players, more money, more focus. But if you were managing that game, and instead of Denmark against England, it's the dog and duck against the King's Arms, pub football on a Sunday, what are you going to do? It's just a game of football. What are you going to do? You're in charge. I would look at that game and I would go, right, we're losing the midfield. We're getting absolutely overrun. And I've got two midfielders on the bench in Wharton and Mainu. So I could do that. Or I could pull Bellingham back and pull Foden in. I'm definitely going to bring Anthony Gordon on the left because he's a left winger. It's going to give me balance. I'm making two subs. I'm putting Gordon on the left and I'm taking Trent off. Now, whether I put Foden at 10 and Bellingham is where Trent is, or whether I take Foden off and put Gordon on and I bring Mainu on for Trent, I'm making both those subs at half-time. I'm changing Trent and I'm changing Foden's position, 100%. But also, I'm saying to Harry Kane, if you don't stay on their last man for the first 20 minutes of this half, you're coming off for Watkins, because I can't have you dropping in with no option for a ball to occupy their centre-backs. Their centre-backs aren't quick, Harry. I need you to play on their last man. But he won't make a change. Trent's coming out. No changes at half-time. Clown. Absolute clown. He's a bloody clown. He is. He's a clown, isn't he? There he is, look. Walking along. Walking in a Southgate wonderland. Give me Marco Silva and we win these Euros. Like, I'm not a greedy man. You know, people say you give this team to Klopp, he'll win the Euros. I'm saying give this team to bloody Marco Silva of Fulham and we'll win the Euros. Like, I'm not greedy. Dessous says he needs to give Palmer a chance. The pundits are blaming this on humidity. Well, it's better than blaming it on the pitch, Matt. We need Homeland at United, says Paul. He's got an £80 million release clause. Never going to happen. Nicholas says, Liverpool fan here. Looks like Ben White made a smart move. He saw what's coming. Trent, Foden don't deserve the hate. Also, Declan, Saka, poor performance. Mark, list every tournament that England should have won, says Football Goat. Well, we definitely should have won the last Euros. He got away with that. I don't know why he never got held accountable for that, but we definitely should have won the last Euros. I think we should have got to the final of the World Cup. I think we bottled it against France. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. A big second half for England. I still think we'll win this. I just hope if we do win it, we turn it around. Southgate is similar to Ten Hag. He's nothing like Ten Hag, mate. You don't watch football, do you? Southgate's similar to Ollie. Southgate is the kind of manager that would take Georgia out of their group. Having him in as England coach is like giving a Ferrari to a newborn, says Victor. You obviously don't watch Man United, mate, because the reason Man United got beat so much is because we left a massive void in the midfield. Because we had slow defenders that made us play a deep line, and then we tried to press with our midfield and our attack. Teams played through us and countered us, and we conceded loads of shots. There's nothing like Southgate. Southgate sits back and parks the bus with everybody. Is there anyone from Denmark United could afford, says Stephen? Denmark are on the attack here. Oh, God, get rid of it. That's a pack pass. No. Oh, God, we're just so hard to watch. All I want to do is get behind this team. And they're so hard to get behind because we're so crap. Mark, lots of Alvarez rumours down here, says Leon. Yeah, we can't afford Alvarez from West Ham at United. You paid £35 million for him. You want to double your money and we ain't got it. I don't know why we're being linked to him, actually. We haven't got the money. Bellingham and Rice getting bullied off the ball there. Bellingham's not had a good game so far. Abdul says, Southgate's just like you, Unai Emery, way too cautious. Mate, he's nothing like Unai Emery. Unai Emery just took Villa to the bloody Champions League. What are you talking about? Bloody hell, there's some bad takes in here. Praise the Sun says, the difference is a clown's better that he's good at his job. FA should beg Klopp to take over this, says Nigel. Right, here we go. Bit of a break. Saka has got the overlap from Walker. Harry Kane. Look how deep Kane is. He's meant to be the fucking striker. Look at him. Look where he is. Jogging on the right wing. I think sometimes you can have too much power in a team. Just play on the last man, for God's sake. Eddie Howe says Cleany, he won't leave Newcastle. Empty says the players look like they don't know what to do. Well, they won't be coached well, mate. Like, you know how Pep coaches a team or Klopp coaches a team. Southgate and Holland aren't actually good coaches either. So, we're not going to see patterns of play or innovative thinking. If you've got a Ferrari in your drive and someone's got a Vauxhall Astra, we've got a Vauxhall Astra in charge. We haven't got a Ferrari. It can't perform like the Ferrari. If Southgate was a player, he ain't killing Mbappe. He's a championship player. Southgate needs to do what Ancelotti does, raise an eyebrow and let the superstars take over, says Bryce. Easy R Real says, get Saka off for Bowen, go 4-1-2-1-2 in midfield, Foden central, give Trent 60 minutes and then sub him for Wharton or Maney regardless of the scoreline. I don't think this game is going to change unless we get a lucky counter or he makes some subs. Curio says a good comparison is Southgate is David Moyes. I don't agree. I think David Moyes is way better. Here we go. Trent on the break. Terrible ball behind Foden. We lose the momentum there. Moyes is way clear of Southgate. Here's Saka. Well, England have done a little bit better in the last 90 seconds. Foden on the back post. Takes it down. Moyes is way better than Southgate. Way, way better. Here's Bellingham. Not really had a lot of the ball. Shoot, Rice. Oh, I tell you what, needed a bit of a deflection there. Is it me or is Bellingham overhyped? I don't think Bellingham's overhyped, Sebastian. I just think he's struggling in, you know, in this system that he's playing as a 10. Harry Kane's holding his hand and he's not getting enough of the ball. Could be a bit of a chess game second half. Ahana says, England is so boring, I'd rather peg my boyfriend. And Jacob says, England should write Klopp a blank cheque and give him his own room in the Buckingham Palace to manage for them. Never going to happen, is it, Jacob? And when do you think the media will start criticising, considering they want the best for England? I've never understood why the media haven't criticised Southgate. I just assume they've got no concept of football because this has been going on for years. We've been playing like this for years. Nigel says that Portugal and... Oh, I thought Saka had scored. Portugal and England are going to be knocked out in the quarterfinals. Both have crap managers, but the squads are so good. Such a waste of talent, says Nigel. I mean, Saka getting there ahead of the Danish centre-back and Kasper Schmeichel there was quite interesting. Could have scored. Come on, England. Why is it that England always have the best players and the worst manager? At one point, they gave the job to Sam Allardyce, says Shaheen. One of the problems we have is that we're obsessed with having an English manager. Which is... I'm not. The foreign managers we tried were crap. Capello's 2 defense. Here we go. It had to happen. It was always going to happen. It had to happen. Conor Gallagher is going to come on for Trent. He's giving him 8 minutes of the second half. He probably should have done it at half time. And that's surely the end of the experiment. Can't do it again. Just can't do it again. It's a shame. I feel so sorry for Trent. Really, really do. Never a holding midfielder. Right, we should get some balance now in that midfield. Hopefully. Hopefully. Bellingham into Foden. We're actually doing okay the last few minutes. Foden with the crossback. Good clearance. Jude acting like a diva. Arnold isn't a midfielder, says Ray Notes. Get Warnock in, says Jared. Is there any manager that you would say, no, I'm keeping Southgate, says Shocks? I mean, no, I don't think so. Bayern signed a centre-back for 25 million without a single rumour leaked. Just to hear we go from Romano. Could United be attempting something similar? Who, Dennis? Who? Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Dave for the follow. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube, bottom right hand corner. Here's Foden, more central. Shoots, it's the post. Oh, I tell you what, that's where Foden's dangerous. Get him in the centre of the pitch. This is not going to work having him on the left wing. He's got to play central. Lovely shot. got to play him centrally. Damsgaard and Barr coming on. Wind coming off. Jordan Philpott, thanks for the super chat. Keith Lawless says, England have a great squad, but when they play anyone decent, they lose. Just look back on the last 3 tournaments and has to be down to the manager, says Keith. Why Gallagher, Mainu and Wharton are clear, says Connor. It's Southgate, Connor. It's never going to be Mainu or Wharton, is it? He's going to go with the guy. If Jordan Henderson had been fit, it'd be Jordan Henderson. He's gone with the safe pair of hands. Gallagher is awful, like Henderson and Lampard combined, and not good in an England shirt, and also not as good as either at club level, says Easy Real. He'll be an improvement on Trent because he can actually play the role. I agree with Lucky Charms. Trent is a good player. He's just not a midfielder. Look how deep Kane is again. Ozzy says Southgate is wasting this generation. Oh, I tell you what. Good clearance there. Denmark were in. Johnny Z, thanks on TikTok for the follow. Gibbons says I'd have brought Palmer on for Gallagher. I mean, you can just put Bellingham in that role and get a number 10 on. You're right. You can do that. I mean, I can't believe we've still got Phil Foden playing on the bloody left wing. Right, there's a bit of a break on here. Oh, come on. Good ball by Kane to Saka. Come back, come back. No, too greedy. I think he should have played the ball back there. Honestly, I'm looking at Kane and I'm saying he's dropping way too deep. Put Watkins or Tony on. They'll just play on the last man. I think Harry Kane's nullified Bellingham. He's dropping deep way too much. That defence of Denmark has got a yellow card in it. It's not very quick. I think we're struggling because of Southgate's refusal to take certain players off. I'd love to see Tony or Watkins just playing on the last man. You'd get Bellingham in the game a lot more as well. Hiroki's gone from Stuttgart to Bayern, left-footed, plays centre-back and left-back. 23 million euros, says Dennis. Thank you very much. Mount says, massive expectations, terrible coach. I don't envy you. And also, who's worse, Southgate or Martinez? Roberto, says Amir. I would be Southgate, yeah. United says, I barely noticed Ericsson. Big Mo says, Kane scored and you all want him off. Yeah, but you don't... I mean, mate, with all due respect, I don't know how much you watch football, but just because you score a goal doesn't mean you get to play 90 minutes. It was a tap-in. Like, we've conceded since then, and we don't look like we're going to score. You have to make substitutions. You know, you do. Gallagher's getting booked. Didn't look like a yellow card to me. Southgate's done more than Roberto Martinez. Won an FA Cup with Wigan, mate. I'm not saying there's a lot in it, but I'm just saying I think Martinez is better than Southgate. Definitely a yellow for Gallagher on reflection. Well, he's got to be careful now, hasn't he? He's only just come on. What snacks am I eating? They're very good. They're called Graze. Graze, Graze. And they're quite nice. RTG on TikTok says Southgate is too scared to make subs. Oh, 100%, mate. He ain't going to take Southgate off. He ain't going to take Kane off, let's be honest. David Gardner says Southgate's the Werther's originals of managers. You can't get rid of them and make your teeth hurt after 15 minutes. Michael says Rasmus a total ghost in 2 games. Too bad for him, says Michael. And this is the worst performance than the Euro final against Italy that was 3 years ago. Southgate hasn't developed anything in all those years, says Matthew. And Southgate too scared to take Keane off, says Curio. Oh, 100%. It looks like he's too scared to take Foden off as well. Another shot from distance. I mean, look at the stats. It's pretty equal for shots, shots on target, possession, passing accuracy. It's a very, very equal game. The Southgate meal deal. A ham sandwich, no mayo, Evian water and ready salted crisps. Connor, absolutely bang on. And David says, I feel he only took Trent off because he wanted someone who could defend better, not attack, says David. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Southgate's not like us. We want to send a statement that we can win the tournament and we want to win. Southgate will be thinking, if we can nick a goal, great. But if we get a point, we've qualified. You make a great point, David. He will not be thinking like us at all. He'll be thinking like, yeah, if we nick a goal, great, but points, fine. The most boring, grey, pragmatic manager you could ever hope for. Good play by Bellingham. Then he slips. On the pitch, I think. The pitch is a joke, isn't it? Right, here's Saka. Bit of space. Go on, take him on. No, it's not good enough. Not good enough. Right, he's got to make subs now. The game needs pace. No out ball. It's so obvious, says Thomas. I mean, Bellingham could have done his knee there. Bloody hell. Dangerous pitch. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're getting close to 177,000 on YouTube. Only a couple of hundred away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Remember, we're doing every game of the Euros. We're doing Spain, Italy at 8 o'clock, which I think will be much better than this shit. get involved. Everybody's welcome. And thanks everyone on TikTok for all the follows as well. Was it goal of the tournament for Hulmland? 49% of you on YouTube said yes, and 51% of you said no. England have just given away a corner here. I mean, Rice, for me, was man of the match against Serbia, but not today. Right, England. Oh, I thought we were making subs. It's Rasmus coming off for Denmark. Poulsen. That's Poulsen, isn't it? It's got a different name on his back. I thought we were making subs. This pitch is terrible considering it's a major tournament, says Alex. And Solid Blake says, I've seen more tactical nows from a corpse than Southgate. Where are our subs? Maybe didn't want to make a sub on a corner. Oh, shot straight at Pickford. I'm only on my second can because I'm pacing myself, but I think by Spain, Italy, I'll be well on my way. And by the time I do the 10 o'clock show at United Stand, it could be an all-timer. Because I ain't stopping. I'm just going to keep going. Our second game in previous tournaments were draws, says Joe. Humlin's goal was class, but Galaire's finesse was the goal of the tournament so far. Love from India, says Tej. This pitch is terrible considering it's a major tournament, says Alex. Southgate would take the minus offer on the chase, says Aaron. Are we playing that game? Because I can play. I've played the game. I've played the game. What would Southgate do that's negative? England played in total 20 minutes of decent football over both games. Subs are on in the 78th minute, says T-Rex. It's not looking good, Breb. Big man ting, says Eduardo. Watkins, Bowen and Eze coming on. It's got to be Kane. Got to be Kane. Bowen. Foden's coming off. I agree. Saka will come off. And it's got to be Kane. Yeah, that's Kane, isn't it? Number 1. Yeah, Kane's off. It's that, you look, I will applaud decisions that I think are right, and I think he's right to take him off. I think Foden's a little bit unlucky. So 20 minutes. This could change the game with Ollie Watkins and Eze. Bit of pace. It's a different front three. This could be it. I tell you what. I'll bloody love it. I'll bloody love it if we go and win the game now, because it will be a big up yours to Southgate, and it will tell him he's got to make subs. I am doing Spain-Italy, yes. 8 o'clock. No Gordon or Palmer. Yeah. Southgate would wait for the green man on an empty road, says Kenneth. Hold on, here's Carl Walker. And Silent Panda says, so in terms of player skill and talent on and off the bench, England's squad is amazing, but it seems the players are not gelling well together. And Per says, are you doing the Spain watch along? Yes. Can we sack him mid-Euro, says Goldio. Paul says, I'm already drunk. I'll be joining you at some point tonight. Blocked Nose, the new fragrance by Gareth Southgate, says B. Yakov. Hypen, thank you very much for the follow on TikTok. And Director as well. Who do you think is going to win between Spain or Italy, says H. Ooh, was he offside? No, corner. Watkins was in. You see that? Playing on the last man. Works. Look at where Watkins is on the last man. Times his run really well. Straight away. Straight away. That's what it's all about. That's exactly what you need. Watkins on the last man gets a chance. There's more balance to this team now because you've got a left winger, a right winger, and a guy who can play on the last man. Oh my God. Oh, it's all right. He ain't got the pace. Eriksen's not got the pace there. Thank God it was Eriksen through one-on-one. Good block by Conor Gallagher. I can see us winning this now. I think we've got more balance in our team. I hope so, anyway. I hope I'm right. When it's on, 1-1, trust in Gareth Ball, says William. He'd put low power mode on a 99% battery, says Ian Curley. Here we go, another shot. Pickford, another shot. I don't want to say the words, I can only see one team winning this because that's bit many a people in the backside before. Horrible performance, says Deet. I was excited when I woke up this morning. Not in that way. I mean in a footballing sense. Of course, Denmark, if they get a point here, would have 2 points. They'd still need... Who's their final game? Croatia. Be tough. Could still be going out. Go on. Oh, Watkins unlucky. Corner. Yeah, corner here. Keanu's laughing at me because I said England will win the Euros. Oh, sorry for looking at the squad and saying it's good enough to win the Euros. Not my fault. We've got a complete and utter, you know, prat in charge. England are like, you know, your squad's too good. So how crap a manager can we give you to make it difficult? Football's simple. Oliver Sharp says, I'm with Sam from the United Stand. What are your opinions on him? Good lad. And that's gone. The ball's gone out. It's just not. You know what? You know when the camera pans to Southgate, do you see major tournament winner there? I see, go down the shop and get me some spaghetti. We've run out, Gareth. Watkins needs to start, says Josh. But this is what proper management's all about. You know, Southgate wants to get all his good players in the team and doesn't think about balance. I look at it and go, well, look, Kane's better than Watkins, but Kane's not better than Watkins when I've already got a Bellingham and a Foden behind him. Like, Bellingham and Foden, look at Man City. Look at Man City, yeah? You got Bernardo Silva, you got Phil Foden, you got Kevin De Bruyne, and then you've got a striker who is absolutely bang average at creating. He is actually a penalty box striker, ball in behind. What have England got? England we've got that creativity behind the number 9, and then we've got a number 9 who wants to drop in and be creative. The balance doesn't work with Kane. We'd be better off with Watkins starting because he wants to play on the last man. Gareth is Barney the dinosaur, wanting to be everyone's friend, says Connor. And Blues Enthusiast says, I'm trying to put my club bias aside, but Bowen before Palmer disappoints me. Yeah, but that's Southgate. You know, Southgate will go Bowen on the wing because he's a right winger. And he'll go Eze on the left because he's a left winger. You know, it's about balance. He won't bring Cole Palmer on because Cole Palmer's too unpredictable. Who do you think deserves to win it, Mark? I think whoever wins it in the last 15 minutes, if somebody wins it, deserves to win it. I think it's been quite an equal game. You know, we've been disappointing. Denmark have done okay. We've got better players than them. But honestly, I think a draw is the right result at the moment. Southgate putting on players that can run in behind, then taking off Trent. Make it make sense. Put Walker at centre-back, Trent at right-back, Rice, Maino and Bellingham in midfield, Saka, Gordon and Kane up top, says Alison Becker. Paul Anderson says, what? Go down the shop and get... Look, when I look at Gareth Southgate on the sideline, I don't see a guy that says World Cup winner or Euros winner underneath it. I see a guy that... You say, Gareth, we've run out of spaghetti. Get down Sainsbury's and get it. And he goes, yeah, you're going to give me the money? No, you pay for it. Okay. Gareth has as much passion for football as roadkill, says Ist. This will be yet another wasted golden generation. Well, we'll get through the group. And then even if we draw this game, we'll get through the group. And if we get through the group, we should have a favourable Romania or someone like that in the next round. It's the quarterfinal where it will get interesting because the problem we have is, if you look at, this is the big problem I've got. Because if we win this game or we draw this game, people will say you're moaning. I moaned when we beat Serbia because I believe we can win the tournament. So every minute of the tournament, I'm looking at, can we win it? And when I look at Germany, they're growing into the tournament. When I look at Italy in the first game, I'm looking at them and Spain tonight. Are they growing into the tournament? I see patterns of play. Maybe there's some momentum building. When I look at England's 2 games, there is 0 momentum. There is 0 pattern. It's basically just turn up and play the game and see what happens. We're not building anything that makes me think we can win the tournament because it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And what he's tried to do in these first 2 games is, you know, Trent as a holding midfielder, Phil Foden on the left wing. Neither of those things have worked. So whatever the score in this game, and if we win it, we probably win it because of Bowen, Eze and Watkins making us play in a different way. Whatever happens in this game, we're back to square one. We're back to square one because the plan hasn't worked. So we're going into the 3rd game of this tournament and nothing has been learned at all. Southgate would have benched Rooney in Euro 2004, says Rob. He probably wouldn't have took him. And Joel says, what was the point in taking Cole Palmer? He's not going to get a single minute. Yeah, but it'll be experience for the lad, Tristan. Bowen for Saka should be a war crime, says Tristan. Saywin says Bellingham should be off. I mean, honestly, this is probably one of the worst games I've seen Bellingham play. And I'm a big fan of Bellingham. But he's really struggled. I worry, and I said this on Sunday, you know, you come into a tournament buzzing, and I wonder if the reality, these players aren't stupid. They're on social media. They'll look on social media after that Serbia game, and they'll see the criticism. Even though they won, they'll see the criticism. And I just wonder if they're now starting to get in their head. you know, they're starting to wake up to what everybody thinks. We're really badly coached, because there's no excuse for Rice and Bellingham to be playing like this today. And they look like players that have had a harsh reality bite that, you know, we ain't very good. Southgate is a plain digestive, says Andrew. Is a non-alcoholic beer. Gareth Southgate's like going out with your mates. Everyone's had 8 pints and you've had 8 pints of non-alcoholic beer. All you are is bloated and sober. Palmer was at least the 3rd best player in the Premier League, says Michael. The ref's a disgrace, apparently, says Mount. Well, stay with me tonight. I've got a match reaction coming up after this. 8 o'clock, we're live for Spain against France. 10 o'clock, I'm on the United stand, and these are going to keep flowing. I've started, so we'll finish. By 10:30. Oh! I'll be singing. I'll be top off. In fact, I'm going to take it off now. No, I'm not. I'm not there yet. Thanks for the follow, Mott. Legends on TikTok. Don't forget Boohoo Man. Scan your QR code. Links in the description if you're on YouTube. 70% across their website at the moment, but they get an extra 10% with the code Goldbridge, so 77%. You've got loads and loads of stuff that they're offering up as well. They've even got stuff for the Euros. Look at how cool I look. I look great. This is the highlight of the game. I think I need to lose the glasses. Dun 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 dun. Denmark are in. If they'd scored then, that's me finished. This is England's highlights. This is their best moment of Denmark against England. Me putting this hat on. I'm wearing it for superpowers. Good tackle by Guehi. Corner to Denmark. 7 minutes to go. Do you think we're going to lose? Nah, I think it's got England late winner or a draw written all over it. We'll definitely get through the group stage, but beyond that. Mark, surely Mbappe paints his face mask like one of the Ninja Turtles. What colour do you think would best suit him? Gareth Southgate, bottom text, says Legendary. Chris says Gareth Southgate is like the Alexa, never listens. No, if you want something that Gareth Southgate is basically your Sky remote with no batteries in it. Oh my God, that was close for Denmark. Rice had been bang average. How did he not get taken off, says Ethan. Never seen such a talented squad wasted so much. Can I nick that for Twitter, mate? Because it'll bang. It's going to bang, this tweet. Compliments to you. Watch that tweet. At Mark Goldbridge on Twitter. Andrew Richards. Just know he gave me an assist. At least the Scots go to the Euros knowing they're shit and they can celebrate a corner and have a great time. England fans go over there in their thousands with an expectation that they're going to do really well, play absolutely shit. What enjoyment do you get? You know, when they're out tonight getting pissed up, what are they talking about? You know, there's nothing, is there? Oh my God, we're only 2 subscribers away. Literally, we are on 176,988 subscribers. I can't do maths. We're 12 subscribers away from 177,000 on YouTube. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. If you're on TikTok, give us a follow as well. Thank you, everybody. Just if you're on TikTok, I don't think I'm going to be live on TikTok for Spain, France. It will be on the YouTube channel, That's Football, if you want to join me for that, as I continually get more beer down me. It will be good, don't worry. That was never a good plan to start at 4:30 for the England game, eh? England needed to be at 8 o'clock. I've got to do United stand at 10. I don't know. It ain't easy, Brev. If you were doing player ratings, what would you give? Oh, I like this. This will get clipped up. So I'll only do the starting 11. England player ratings for Serbia. This should get clipped up, like for TikTok or something as a clip. England player ratings against Denmark. Pickford 6, not really had much to do, couldn't do much on the goal. Carl Walker 6.5, did very much well on our goal. Trippier 6, done okay at left back. I'd give Stones and Guehi 6.5. I think they've done a good job considering we only conceded a worldie. Rice a 5.5, nowhere near as good as Serbia. Trent out of position, not his fault, but probably a 5. Bellingham very, very quiet, inexplicably quiet, not helped by Kane dropping into his position, a 5. Saka, probably a 5.5, didn't really ever get going in the game. Foden, 5.5, couple of glimpses, but out of position. Harry Kane, 5, doesn't look fit to me, and dropped deep too often. Southgate, as a manager, I will give him a -6. If you want to get one of these, by the way, Boohoo Man. They're good. I don't normally look good in hats, but I genuinely think I don't look a complete knob. Boohoo Man, scan the QR code, link in the description if you're on YouTube. They've got 70% off at the moment. You can get an extra 10%, which takes it to 77% with the code Goldbridge. Check it out. Donald Sutherland, rest in peace. Are you having a laugh, Nick P? I'm not joking. 2 nights ago, I watched the film Backdraft, and I thought Scott Glenn must be dead. He's still alive. I thought Donald Sutherland must be dead. He's still alive. He's not anymore. Breaking news, Donald Sutherland is dead. Last night he was alive. I checked it on Wikipedia. I can't believe how life works. Literally was looking at it on Wikipedia last night. He's alive. Not anymore. He did. He's dead. 20th of June. Today. It's the circle. The circle of life. And for Southgate, it's shite. What a load of shit. I hope the press get on his back. Rubbish. What would you do to solve it? Play a balanced 11 that fucking plays possession. This is rubbish, man. This is really bad. What about doing some keep-ups, says Howder? Jack says you only look partially like a tube. I'm trying to make us win. Southgate still remembering the penalty missed in Euro 96. England are playing like that penalty. All about exciting as New Times Roman font on Windows 98, says TP. It's Watto and Ben Foster and Jamie and Rhino Legs. I'm going to message him now. Where are they? That's Rasmus, Jude, Romano, Angry Ginge. God, I haven't messaged them in ages. Danny from the script. There we go. That's the highlight of the fucking TV highlights anyway. You've all been amazing. My head's getting hot. You've all been... Don't pull it up there. It looks better down. You've all been amazing anyway. Well done. My man of the match and women. And anything else in between is you lot. What a... Everybody who said a draw, well done. Oh, my match reaction. I'm going to go off like a bottle of pop. I'm telling you now. And don't forget Spain, Italy. It's going to be a great watch along. We're going to be live for that. Plenty of more of these going down. If I wasn't going to do Spain, Italy, I'd be in my hot tub with cans, a big bowl of Doritos, probably naked, let's be honest. Ryan Powell says, I still can't believe this guy was linked to Man United. Trippier goes down. It's definitely going to be a draw. I mean, I've done my player ratings. I'm going to wear this on. I'm not going to wear it. If we'd scored, I would have wore it for the rest of the tournament. What do the stats say? Come on, Ezzy. Come on, Ezzy. Oh, Ezzy. It ain't Ezzy, bro. What are we looking at stats-wise? They've had more shots than us. They've had more possession than us. We've been dominated by Lego FC. That's it as well. Absolute shite. Absolute shite. Absolute shit. Oh, Southgate's coming on the pitch. What's he going to complain about? Probably just going to give Trippier a... he's probably just running up to players for a cuddle. Remember, it's Daddy Southgate. Give me a cuddle. Everybody like me. Like me. Like me, let's play cards tonight. You can stay up till midnight. Like me, that's why I'm in a job. Can I do an interview? Can the FA get me doing an interview and I'll speak about... let me speak about something political like war's bad. Yeah. Homelessness is bad. Yeah, there's a cost of living crisis. Yeah, we love Southgate. Have him on his football. Have him on his football. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know, all these people who say criticising Southgate is wrong. Shit. We're right. Anyway, I need to load up a little bit more. I'll get my match reaction up and then I'm going to be live with you again in about 40 minutes time for Spain against France. I'm going to do a match reaction now. Thanks, everyone. You've been legends tonight. Make sure you subscribe to That's Football. If you're on TikTok, get yourself onto YouTube later because we're doing the 8 o'clock game, Spain against France. 10 o'clock on the United stand. I'll be wasted by then. It'll make for good TV. We don't bloody need Branthwaite. Who is he anyway? Branthwaite. We don't need him. He can bloody stay at Everton. They've banned me anyway. Get out. Yeah. See you in a bit.